Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you as we kick off another 3-day race week here in Hollandale Beach. And if Hollandale Beach is a key word, I guess, because there's some heavy rains overnight. I guess the main track is going to start off as sloppy, and we are off the turf today, unfortunately, as you and I kind of talked about before we came on the air. Must have came down pretty good because that main track is sloppy and off the turf, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's crazy how the storms pass through. It could be raining in one side of the track and not the other. So we'll be back hopefully tomorrow.
That is exactly it. I think the weather looks okay. We were talking off the air, and this is about the nicest it's been in quite some time.
Yeah.
We couldn't come up with the exact date, but very nice day here. We hope to see everybody out here on a good weekend of racing as well. The Rainbow Six, it's building, and it's building quite rapidly because we're already at $125,000 in the estimated jackpot. You can see the carryover there, so $1.25. The pools have been very, very healthy as we paid this off to end that fiscal year on June 30th, and it's building quite quickly already, so get involved in that. And the early pick five has been very healthy as well. So we'll take a look at my ticket now. I've got a $45 ticket. I lost a fourth place pick today, and that was it. So that was pretty cool. I did not have to do a lot of updating today. We always like that. 3 deep here. You can see the spread in race number 2, and that includes my long shot, the 2 Mega Glorious. We'll see what kind of price we get there. In race 3, I've got the 7 on top, Amazing Woo. I think Samantha is with me there. Best bet for me is Mr. Rhodium. We're going to get him over the finish line today.
That's mine, too.
Wow, okay. Come heck or high water. And in race number 5, we are off the turf, but I left everything the same, and that is Sir Saffir, the 3 for Kathleen O'Connell. Scratched out of the stakes the other day, and we'll run here $45 early pick 5 ticket. Let's take a look at the opener now. Samantha will have to give these a look because these are the 2-year-olds and we don't really have a lot to go on. Now this is off the turf. We'll go 5 on the Tapeta. Unfortunately, if you just missed the start of the show, we are off the turf today, and this is a Tropical Tapeta pick 3 now. Thank you, Raymond and the boys, for popping that up there.
Yeah, it is, and it's still just such a good wager. This is one that I whittled down quite a bit just due to the off the surface. I didn't want to put too much money in it, but it became a lot easier for me, I feel like, when it did come off the grass and on the Tapeta, because now I've got a single in race number 5 for Barry Croft, and in race number 9. This is a tricky one now to me. I do have the 10 on top. That is Bellwether. I don't entirely trust her. Miss Holly was one that I added in. That is the 7, $18, and you've got a replay to show that.
Yeah, Miss Holly had a little bit of a trip.
Yeah,
now that was on the turf, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So that's $18, $3 base bet, 15% takeout. And as you heard Samantha say, and we do say it all the time, this routinely pays much, much more than the parlay.
Agreed.
You'll have to trust me on that.
I 100% do.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not going to fight you there.
Right. All right, let's get into it because this could be a problematic race. We are on the Tapeta again at 5 furlongs here in the opener, $35,000 maiden claimer. You talked to me about Stubhold, who I don't like at all, but I want to be fair. We'll show the video and you can talk over it. It wasn't a there off you lose kind of trip, but obviously this is not what you want with a first-time starter.
No, you don't, especially going 5 furlongs too. It just there's so many adversities to get him to the races already, and being in this situation there.
Yeah.
It's not all that great, and thank you, Bob, for that hard at work yesterday. But just kind of got sandwiched a bit, and then it got worse again. So already not good. You see his nose straight up in the air. She wanted no part of that. I think the Connections really wanted her on the grass. Unfortunately, now we're on the Tapeta. I'm going to take this race as the first-time start.
Yeah,
race.
that's fine. I just she didn't do any running at all, and I know you can kind of draw a line through sometimes first-time starters. I just wanted to see a little more. You know, they're going to bet her. I didn't know who they're going to bet in this race, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, let's look at a stat because this is a good one, Brian, and maybe this will kind of change your tune. And I was shocked at this stat, actually.
Oh, it's a turf stat.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
anyways, Mark Cassie with second-time starters. Tapeta or turf, it's a good sample.
Yeah.
And a good percentage.
No, she's going to move forward. The question is, can she run it all? And that's what we got to figure out today. She is in for 35. It's not like they're giving her away. The firsters, hopefully you can kind of point us. I tried to find a video. There was nothing out there to look at. Blinging Burr for Carlos David, 23% first-time starters. I mean, there's enough works here to at least suggest she should be fit.
Yeah, you would think so. Of course, it's on paper, so we're speculating. Improbable, young sire, no winners yet. It's funny. The dam sounded so familiar. Kid is Frosty. This is a horse, actually she debuted at Remington Park for a trainer named Scott Young, and they actually would call her Samantha because she had blonde hair.
Wow.
Like
Get that.
me, yeah. So it was just kind of a full circle moment. So I knew the dam just from back home, and she wasn't too shabby either.
No, she was okay. 3 for 14.
Yeah, not horrible. So this is a barn they put him in where regardless of the tag, they want him to win.
Danielle Cordero's got the 3, the new beginning, and there is a slew of works here to suggest fitness, if nothing else. We'll see. Samantha will get a look at him, and we'll see if we can go from there. Early pick 4 in race number 2. It's just a run back, so I'll post that and tweet that out. This is 5 furlongs on the Tapeta, $25,000 2L for 3 and up, which I've never won. Again, 225 is the tag, and you are on the 5, Lieutenant Stan. And we can show that video too, Lieutenant Stan and Zio Lorenzo.
Yeah, they duked it out last time here. Zio Lorenzo did a lot of the dirty work here, and I think he paid the price for it. Lieutenant Stan just kind of rode his coattails, but this is such a situation of, these horses, when they race against each other, they cycle in and out, and I think today could be Lieutenant Stan's day.
This was a bring-back race from when we had to cancel with all the rain, and 3-0 was the horse that was not in initially and came back in, and he was odds on. I think he was 1 for 29, but he got it done. Zio Lorenzo ran very, very well, and I agree with everything you said about Lieutenant Stan. He really didn't do any running at all. He just kind of picked up the pieces, and you said it perfectly. This is supposed to be Zio Lorenzo's race to win. I don't really like him or trust him either, but this is his time today. This is my long shot, Mega Glorious. You and I have talked about this. These Oscar Gonzalez horses are running huge. He's going to take over. He's got some works with this horse, and we're going to sprint on Tapeta for the first time.
Yeah, hey, this is a perfect race to try something.
It is, and the beauty of, if you like anybody not named Zio Lorenzo, you're going to get a really good price because Zio Lorenzo is going to be a very short price.
Right.
Edgar Zaya is just on an absolute tear right now. This is Safi Joseph Jr. here, there, and everywhere. For Safi, congrats on the stakes win at Saratoga yesterday. Race number 3, 12-5 maiden claimer. Now we are going to start sloppy on the main track today. We'll see what happens at 1:55 in the PM. 3 and up here. It's scratch the 6. Rebel Joke is out of here, and you and I are not going to have very good television here as we are right in a row. But you do like Amazing Woo quite a bit today, I think, right?
Yeah, I do. We've got 2 videos of Amazing Woo out there. Amazing Woo.
That's right.
This horse ran huge last time. He was my long shot last out, and he's one that he wasn't very fit anytime that I've seen him, and he's finally starting to get that race fitness, and now he'll stretch out an extra furlong. He ran really well. After with this race, we said that. We were like, wow, he ran big on the rail there. I think the extra half furlong is going to make a huge difference.
And the post is huge for him today, too. This is an ideal starting position for him. I'm Still Brave. Conversely, down on the inside, I don't think it's ideal. He's been going 7 furlongs. He'll cut back. I mean, he's been running very well.
He has, but he's also coming out of the Golden Sombrero race, which I know you're the #1 biggest fan of Golden Sombrero.
I picked him tomorrow. Or
did you really?
I did, yeah. I don't know what.
I've got a good stat for that then.
Oh, my goodness. I couldn't believe it. There's a couple horses like that. I picked Barry the Builder, too. He's going to come back and win.
I saw that. I about spit out my dinner when I saw that.
Me picking Barry the Builder. I told you I would, though, and I did. So we got 3 down. We got 6 to go. Ron's got the rainbow. 125 in the estimated jackpot. So we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have that ticket for you. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you on a 9-race Friday. We are off the turf, unfortunately. We'll start with a sloppy main track, but that'll be a work in progress, and Kenny and the crew do a phenomenal job, and if the weather cooperates, I think we're in a good spot here a little bit later on. But the sequence will start on the Tapeta here in race 4. We'll take a look at Ron Nicoletti's ticket. He'll be out here with me for the opener as well. Here's the old playbook, 4320. No singles, though, for Ron.
Originally, I had no singles in my late pick 5, so I completely understand him there. Yeah, it's pretty wide open towards the end of the card. He gets a little bit tighter. Races 7 and 8 just too deep. Race 7, he's got the number 4 and 6. Hoping him. We've got a lot to say about him, and Christensen ran really well last time. Race 8, just too deep, the 1 and the 8. Golfaxi and Raya Valentine. That's a new shooter here.
Yeah. Absolutely. 4320 on $125,000 in the estimate. I'll play the over on that. The pool's building quickly. Let's get back now here. 5 furlongs on the Tapeta, $35,000 maiden claimer here in race number 4. The only change is the 1 is actually a gelding, so take note of that. Paxton is a gelding. We're both on the same pick. Mr. Rhodium is my best bet of the day. It's got to be his time today.
Yeah, it has to. He's a fresh horse. He's my best bet as well. Drops down to the $35,000 tag. He's been in maiden optional claiming events, but this is a huge drop for him. Right,
and the other reason, too, is his main contender, maybe, I don't know, for the 4, ours for sure. Safi at 14-1 on debut in a maiden special weight. Not a good sign.
Not
right?
At all, no.
So what you're going to get today, I don't know. Edgard is not here. He's going to ride the 3. He was not on debut either. Drayden Van Dyke's done a very good job. It's not a knock. You're just thinking to yourself, well, Edgard's first call. He's not even riding on debut. Now you can have him for 35. Blinkers go on. They're throwing a lot. The Howard Wallowitz race, too, is... I don't know why he ran like that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know.
We didn't get the memo that day.
Yeah, we did not at all.
The only 2 people that didn't, but short number here on Mr. Rhodium, I would think. I don't like the Safi horse at all. Ours for sure. That's why I just tried to break up the exacta with the 6. Boy, oh boy, who's actually has run okay, and he's another maiden special weight dropper.
Yeah, he is another one that's coming in a little bit fresh too, which is a good sign.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what we get today, and you got an aggressive jockey in Jose Ferrer from out there as well. Late pick 5 kicks off in race number 5. We are off the turf, unfortunately, in the starter optional claimer. These are 4-year-olds and up. It is a scratch of the 4, La Loba Feroz, and the 5, Make It Big, and we'll take a look at Samantha's late 5 ticket now.
Yeah, and like I said, now I've got a single. I didn't at the beginning doing this originally, but I'm going to single right off the rip. Race number 6, just too deep for me. Solidaria and Le Touche. Race number 7. I do have the 5 on top. That is Feast. That's my long shot. I'm fading, hoping him today. Race number 8. The 4, Jeanna on top on the stretch out. I like this move a lot. And in race 9, the finale. Oh, but what a tricky race. I don't even know if I went 4 deep. I may not have the winner. I do have Bellwether on top, but she's going to try the Tapeta for the first time. It's a guessing game.
There are questions that are going to abound in the finale.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Tricky.
10-1 on Feast. Well done on you.
Well, I had some guidance today, as you pointed out to both Ron and I about getting correct long shots this week.
There we go.
Yep.
All right, off the turf here at $170 in race number 5. We'll start it with you. I did not change anything. I feel like there was, horses with Tapeta form that I can rely on a little bit. But it sounded like you like Mr. Crowley quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I singled him here because I think that when we see the Tapeta get rain, the speed does well there, and it can just be a bit tiring too. The horses can't close from behind as much. Mr. Crawley has got speed and a good amount of it as well. So I'm just going to hope that Lionel Reyes can put him on the lead and send him.
Big scratch of the 5 make it big too, because he was probably going to be in front on
Right,
the
exactly.
stretch out.
Yeah.
That's going to help your pick quite a bit. You know, I've got the 3 Sir Saffer. I mentioned that scratched out of the stakes the other day to run here. We are unproven on Tapeta, but that's not really going to deter me.
No.
And a horse with the right running style to theoretically trip out. Let's show you. We're still going to show you Vladislav and Social Long Distance. They went at it 2 back. It was on the turf, but I think there's trips here, and I want to show you how just really good Social Long Distance ran in this spot, getting dueled here by Mr. Crowley, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So this is an interesting horse because he's one that likes the grass,
Yeah.
not the Tapeta. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't like the Tapeta, but he hasn't shown anything on it, to be honest.
No, he's coming out of. I don't disagree with that, but he's, you know, when you're racing against Fly the W, and Lord Eddard Stark won the other day as well. That's a better group than this is today. I think Vladislav is probably the better Tapeta horse. I could have swapped them. I think he's run pretty well on the surface in the past. And quite honestly, Vladislav probably moves up. He's 1 for 15 on our turf course. He's 2 for 8 on the Tapeta.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to help him.
Though, I remember I played him to show that day, and he paid a lot to show because he looked amazing.
Oh, you said that. That's
yeah,
right. Yeah.
And there was the huge favorite to Fly the W, obviously,
Right.
but he's coming back in 2 weeks. And sometimes we talk about the Oscar Gonzalez horses.
Yeah.
When they just look that good, something's got to give, I think, coming back in 2 weeks.
That is
like
a little
that.
bit short.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. Late pick 4 kicks off in race 6. This could be a good race here in this maiden special weight for the 2-year-old fillies. Excuse me. Sloppy main track to start, but again, I have plenty of confidence that with no more rain, we'll have an update for that. Let's take a look at my late 4 tickets. Samantha will be able to get a look at these two. $16. I'm spreading here. I've got the 1 singled in race number 8. That is Gulfstream, and that was a problem race too, to be honest with you. And then race number 9, 10-8 for me. Bellwether, who, boy, I'm not advocating to play Bellwether, but she's the one in there. I'm interested in your thoughts. I couldn't find much when I tried to pull up some works here. We'll show you one with Solidaria. I don't really know if she's a contender, but she is of a coma. So I want to see your picks first. Okay, you're going to go towards the outside. Touche, excuse me. Antonio's got a couple in here. Edgard is here, and this is a second-time starter for Antonio. So 3-1 on debut. You don't see that for him that often.
No,
right?
you don't. It was a big race, too, and this filly, she didn't have a gate work, at least locally, coming into her debut, so I feel like now that she's got that under her belt, and then you switch to Edgar Zayas, that's got to be a good sign.
Oh, good. All right, let's bring up the work with Solidaria, because Samantha's got her in second, and this is a daughter of Vacoma, who has, I couldn't find anything. I'm glad you did. We can show the stat too. I thought this was a pretty solid enough drill.
Yeah, it is. Well, here's 2 things. She's working solo, so sometimes, 99% of the time, when you're working a young horse solo, they're only going to go as fast as they're going to go. At 48 is pretty quick, actually, for a solo work. She's not bad looking, and we'll pull up the stat here because Vacoma's
prolific,
this
right?
is really quite wild. 50%, 8 for 16. Now, this was on Tuesday. I found this stat. I don't think any other Vacomas have won since then, but wow, this is impressive.
Yeah, grade 1 winner for George Weaver.
Yep.
He was one of those, what are they, paddlers? Wasn't he? Wasn't that him?
Yes, yeah.
With the weird running legs kind of thing. Boy, he could run, though, and George did a really good job with him. I don't know if they're going to better. I don't know. This is a tote board race. Samantha will be able to get a look at them as well. Antonio never, ever wins with first-time starters. It's a progression with him. He's actually up to 6%. I don't say that tongue-in-cheek. He was 1 or 2% for a while. But he works them fast, and she looked good there. So we'll just have to see. It's a guessing game for me. I picked Marabina in her debut, and they bet her. I'm just going to come back to her and give her another shot. She chased and tired that day.
Yeah, she did, and that's hard to do. Now she's going to stretch out a bit, which I think is a good sign.
No, I agree. And experience. We have talked about this time and time again. In these kind of races, experience does play. We both have unchanged gained a lane further down. I've seen enough from her.
Yeah, I didn't put her in my pick 5 because there's just no use. They're gonna bet her.
Yeah.
She might win. I'll let her beat me. To me, she seems. My comments on her last time was might always run second.
Yeah, and they just overbet her every single time, and she's just got to show more. She's just not very fast.
No.
And when horses are like that, they run the risk of if they come up against a good first-time starter, they're not going to win. Exactly.
No.
That's
There's always going to be one better.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened to her last time. Race 7 kicks off the late pick 3. Don't forget now, $1 pick 3. That's a good one for the players here. The gang is here again. It's a starter optional claimer at 5.5, 4-year-olds and up. And we can just talk over Christensen, Hoppenhim, and Adios Asher. We'll show you the replay last time. I admittedly have never been right with Hoppenhim, so he'll probably win by 4 today.
Right.
I just can't come back to him anymore.
I can't either, and we talked about this too. He's a horse that around this time last year he took a significant break because he was burnt out, and I think that might be coming for him now. He hasn't really been the same this year as he was last year, but he runs his eyeballs out every time. He's coming back quick. You see him there. He's going to give it his all. I just don't think that's going to be good enough.
No, I had Tap Gold that day. He ran okay the other day when they stretched him back out. I think he was second. He looked like a winner off the turn, but just couldn't run with the winner. It's a good race. I think, to me, when you watch that replay, it's Adios Asher, who I don't want anything to do with today.
That's fair.
Especially being down on the inside. Your long shot is Feast, who ran very, very well behind Adios Asher and Hoppenhim 2 back.
Yeah, the main thing with this race is I don't like anybody
in
it, and I want to stay away from all of these. I did use 5, 4, and 1 in my late pick 5. I'm just tossing hope in him. You just don't give yourself a chance to win anything if you're going to use them. I'm going to take a stand against him today.
No deliberation is 7 for 9 on the Tapeta. You look, we don't believe in the figure, so it might even be silly to mention them. But I do want to say, you look at his pattern. Bad, good, bad, good. He's coming back to a good race today. Big drop for him out of a 1X last time as well. I think he's a player, but we'll see. If nothing else, Christensen always runs, and if that's good enough today, we'll have to see. But he's the one I kind of wanted.
That's fair.
Out of that race. Late double goes in race 8. We're at a flat 1-turn mile on the main track. Fillies and Mares 3 and up. It's a 25-2L. We've got the 2 Puckered as a scratch. The 5 Refugiata is a scratch as well. And Samantha is on Jayana. My old friend Jayana hit for me on debut.
Yeah, she did.
She has not hit for anybody else since.
No, she is not. But she was one that on debut I thought she was going to need longer. I thought there was no question about it. Now, they did get her the 2 turns on the turf. Well, she didn't want any part of that. So now I'm going to say this is the first time she's really routing.
Right.
I like that. We know that she can run okay on the dirt. And this is a drop that she's needed, I think, for a long time.
I agree with that. I had one heck of a time making a line for this race.
Yeah.
I don't honestly know who they're going to bet. Maybe they bet her a little bit on the drop. This is a mixed bag, to say the least, and that's why I singled Gulfstream. If just nothing else, she's now with Victor Barboza. He's had time to work with her a little bit, and Lasix goes on, and his guy Amicio is here too.
Yeah, all really good things coming on,
I want to show you, though, the Tampa race from Ground Stop. I get this is the big leagues over here at Gulfstream, but this is the only time this Daughter of Honor Code's ever been on the main track, okay? And this was her debut as well. She's going to add blinkers today to sharpen her up a little bit. I don't really know a lot about this Daniel Damon barn, but this is a pretty darn good effort on debut, Samantha.
Yeah, it was, especially in a race where, they're Tampa in February. There are some tough shooters that go run. And that was, I get it was a maiden $16,000 level, but still, this is impressive.
Yeah, she's intriguing to me today because even if they do, even if Gulfstream is, the favorite in here and Rhea Valentine's on the outside, she's okay as well. They're no great shakes. What do you make of Rhea Valentine? She's with Antonio now. Chad Summers had her up in New York, so this is a pretty sizable drop. Voided claim when last seen in April.
Yeah, exactly. You look at that race and you wonder, well, they bet her so hard that day, but still, you wonder what you're going to get. If she runs back to her maiden win, I don't think anybody's going to beat her.
No,
but I don't
but
know.
that seems like about 8 years ago to
Exactly.
me. I don't think we're getting that. Antonio, too, 1 for 27 off this kind of middling layoff. So that kind of mirrors what he does with first-time starters as well.
Exactly.
Maybe we maybe we need a race today. The finale is off the turf, unfortunately, with the rains overnight. We'll go 1.70 miles on the Tapeta and a $16,000 2L for fillies and mares. The scratch is the 3 Plankton, some speeds coming out, and the 9 Chasing Silver as well. You know, all right, let's talk about the favorite, Bellwether. I always had her on top. My goodness, she was supposed to win at 2-5 last time.
Well, I had her stablemate last time, House
Okay.
of Melody. I liked her stablemate better, but yeah, she looked like she was supposed to,
Yeah.
and her stablemate just blew past her. Not in a big way, but at least enough to get the win. But she's 5 years old and only has had 3 starts. Now she'll try the Tapeta for the first time. I don't know what we'll get from her.
No, you're going to get a short price is what you're going to
That's
get
true.
from her, and that's unappealing. Platinum Rocker has, sprinted on Tapeta. She's better as a router, so I think she's okay.
Yeah, well, this was such a tricky race. We have the exact same
Yeah.
picks. It's interesting.
The horse that moves up, we're going to show you Miss Holly's turf race 2 back, okay? And she had trouble.
She did.
And this kind of was a parlay into what was an absolute tour de force on the Tapeta. But here she is here, the 7 horse. She's going to have a little trouble into this turn. It's not going to go well for her. You can see her starting to check already.
Yep.
And then she's got to go outside. And then she goes all the way outside. So she's 4 deep around the entire bend here, basically. And you can see her now. Wait, Bob, thanks again. Bob was in here working hard yesterday. And so now this is just not good for her. But to her credit, she just kept on coming and coming. We're going to take this through here now when she kind of middle moves, because there really wasn't a lot the jock could do in here. He's out there. There's nothing he can do. And she's going to end up paying the price off the far turn. But for her to be beaten just 2.5 lengths was a pretty darn big effort. And then what happens last time, she comes back on the Tapeta and she laughed at a group of 16 in there, wins off by 4 1/4.
Yeah, it's tough to come back after being an 0 for 13
Yeah.
maiden, but and face winners. But I feel like she moves way up being on the Tapeta now.
Yeah, well, this is my Barry the Builder angle for tomorrow. You see it more
That's a
often
good
than
point.
you would think, that these
Yeah.
lifetime maidens, the light bulb goes on, especially when she wins by 4 1/4, like Barry the Builder did. He won by the length of the stretch with the blinkers coming off. I can't believe I've spent at least 45 seconds talking about Barry the Builder
This
today.
is a wait. We're
Winning
about to
again.
kick you off the set
Right,
here.
right.
Yikes.
No longer can I put "Don't bet Barry the Builder, he doesn't want to win" anymore in the comments. So we'll talk about him tomorrow. Good solid 9-race card though today. Let's take a look at the lightning round before we leave you. And hey, Pete Vioola's back too. That's
He is, yeah.
always a good thing. But we'll take a look at the standings here to start it off, and nothing's changed.
I don't foresee it changing.
I don't think so, unless Edgard's going to bop up to Saratoga for an extended period of time. I don't think it matters, though. But look at underneath, 54, 54, and 53. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. These guys, these are the guys here. If you're just joining us or coming out to the races for the first time, these are the people you pay attention to.
Yeah,
Yep.
without a doubt. And Lionel Reyes is not far from them either with a good weekend. He'll be right up there as well. Trainer standing, Safi Joseph. If Edgard's on top, that means Safi's going to be on top too, and he's trying to double up Jose.
What a heck of a week Safi is.
Oh, man.
The past 14 days, he's just, everywhere he goes, he's winning stakes races. So pay attention to that. Just a barn that's doing all the right moves right now.
Upsets the Schuylerville
Yeah.
yesterday at 44-1.
Queens MG, a
Thank you.
purchase after Keeneland.
After the Keeneland race, private purchase. So
Yeah.
congrats to him. And Jose's up there. I think he's got he's got a proper stable up there. So a name to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Carlos David as well, and everybody kind of doing their thing. Rohan with the stakes win that you had last week with Real
Yeah.
Macho. He's a horse that I don't think we'll see him down here this summer. He's probably going to take a shot.
Maybe,
Some
yeah.
races, yeah. So that's good to see as well. Taste at the Track is on the 27th, right? That's
Yep, it
tacos
is.
and tequila.
Yeah, always a fun one here. And these tickets sell out very quickly, so
Yeah.
get involved. It's always a fun time up
Yep.
in the Flamingo room.
Flamingo
with
room,
that.
yeah. Good food, and they tell me the booze is good too.
You don't drink.
I can't. I got the bracelet for the food.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Steaks tomorrow. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we've got kind of a run back of the game face.
Yeah.
But here we'll look out for.
This is the Azalea and Mauchi. You know what? I'm back with her. I believe in this race. I really do.
Yep, she's looking for back-to-back stakes wins, and I don't know about the distance for that. This is going to be a really interesting race tomorrow. Excited to talk about it with you and see what Ron came up with as well, because
it's a good race.
Yeah, it was, and she ran very, very well.
She sure did. We got our Harper Rose in there for Safi, and this is just a good race. And the Holland Ice, the Oaklawn horse, another private purchase. She's back. She ran okay.
She did.
Right?
She did all the hard work up front.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Best bet for you today?
It's your best bet as well, Mr. Rhodium.
Oh, that's right. We're going to get him over the finish line today at over.
We'll be carrying him out there.
Yeah. What do I say? 14th time is the charm in your long shot?
It is, I think, a bit early.
Feast.
Oh, Feast. There you go. Yeah, that's right. How could I forget Feast?
And I'm a little earlier on in the card. Race 2, Mega Glorious at 6-1. We'll see what we get there. 24 minutes to post. Ronnie's coming out for the opener. We're happy to have Pete Aiello back. I got to give a shout out, though. Kenny Livingood did one heck of a job. I know you were only here for the one day, but I was very impressed with him.
Yeah, yep, I was as well. Everything I heard, it was a very. It's good to see track announcers like that come in and do a great job.
Very impressive. I think he's at Northfield, so you can give a listen to him. But we got Pete back. We like that. He's upstairs to guide you through the scratches and changes on a 9-race Friday card. We're happy to have you aboard.